information, I figure. So
how long are you going today?
It's going to be about 30 to 45 minutes.
Awesome.
And then once I start, everyone will just keep their mics muted and listen in and hopefully get some nice information. And now I'm just setting up the Instagram live. All right, we're doing a seminar here on Shut the Fuck Up Friday. Shut the Fuck Up Friday. All right. Seminar. All right. Try to make use of all this social media stuff. All right. So we are broadcasting from on Clubhouse, on Instagram, and now I'm joining this call here. Let me unmute my mic.
And then hang up on the phone.
Oh. All right. We need you all to mute your mics, please. Najin, is everybody in the room or are we still waiting?
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. All right. All right. I'm taking the liberty today of doing this on Instagram and Clubhouse. So we have other people listening in too. Just so you know. All right, everybody on the screen, thank you. As you know, I am the attorney for Kushagram, your licensed, fully legal operational delivery company. And you have been hired as drivers. And as the attorneys for Kushagram, it's very important that you understand how to deal with law enforcement when you get pulled over. And you just very may well get pulled over. We've had other licensed companies and drivers get pulled over, maybe spend the night in jail. It could happen. So if you don't want your hands in cuffs and go to jail, if you don't want that possibility, this is not the job for you. This is not the job for you. You need to do something else, because I can't sit here and tell you that you will not get arrested or pulled over while you're delivering cannabis. It could very well happen, and it happens. So to that end, we teach you a lot of different things to, one, be ready for a pullover, two, preventative things that you can do to help increase your chance that you won't get pulled over, because we're increasing and reducing your risk of liability to criminal exposure. You are exposed to criminal prosecution just by virtue of this business that you're in, unfortunately. So we start with the things that you do before you get in your car. Now, everything I'm talking about here, while we're talking specifically about delivery drivers, it applies in your life, right? In your daily life, driving around, and this is information you're going to want to share with everybody because it applies just the same. So, doing things to help minimize the risk that you're going to get pulled over. Before you get into the vehicle that you're going to get in that has cannabis, or your car for that matter, whatever it is, walk around it, make sure that all the blinkers are working, the tail lights, make sure everything's functioning properly. Because when a tail light is out, when something's broken, that's a vehicle code violation. Cop will pull you over. And cops look for obscure vehicle codes to pull you over. And things hanging from your window, the rearview mirror, all those things are things that can get you pulled over. Your tags on your license plate. If the license plate frame is covering it just a little too much, that is a violation, can get you pulled over. When here's a good one, the light that illuminates the rear license plate, that being out. Yes, and we usually get that. We usually get at least one or two people that like, yeah, I've been pulled over for that. And that happens across the country. So you want to look at that and make sure, especially when you're delivering at night, you know, that's when it happens. So you want to make sure that light is illuminating and always working, right? So car working properly, the van, whatever your vehicle you're driving, every time you're going to get in the car to make a delivery, even if you just did one, it's a pain in the ass, but do it again. The blinker might have gone out, because believe me, not getting pulled over is the best scenario that we're dealing with in your case, and the company's case, because then we have to deal with the fucking cops that took, you know, $10,000, $20,000 worth of product that track and trace, and the BCC is like, where'd that go? You know, and then we have to deal with all the paperwork and all that afterwards. So we want to really try to prevent the pullover to begin with. But you can only do so much, and that's what we ask. You just do as much as you can do, and then you do all that. Now, you're in the car. Before you leave, you want to get your license out of your wallet, your insurance out of the glove compartment. Your registration might be in the center console. People keep these things in 3 different places. And then if you get pulled over, now you're reaching over here, and we know what happens or what could happen when you start reaching for things. So you want to take all those 3 things together, clip them together. Your visor's right there. Clip it to the visors. Most visors have a little slot there. Just keep it right there. And then later when we discuss, your hands are on the steering wheel or out the window, and you just grab, it's right there. You're not reaching for anything like that, and it's a lot safer. So you keep all those vital down. Now for the drivers, for the licensed cannabis business, you will also have a badge. Always wear your badge. Always wear your badge around your neck. Always wear your badge around your neck. Wear your badge around your neck. I can't say it enough. And you will have a, booklet, folder that has your manifest, all the vital legal documents, that you're licensed and everything. So if you're a legal business, if you're legal cannabis business delivery driver, along with license, insurance, and registration, you hand over, your badge is going to be right there, and you're going to hand over the manifest that shows everything. Cop might arrest you. This is where, oh, I don't believe this, it looks fake, whatever, show it to the judge, And so now we get into getting pulled over. And actually, you're driving, you want to be a defensive driver, which means don't be darting in and out. Don't try to get ahead here. You're not in a rush. You might feel like it. Maybe you got a delivery you got to do, but, stay the speed limit, 2 miles under the speed limit maybe. Not a lot. That'll get you pulled over too. But you want to drive safe, cautious, and defensive. So, and I say that because you can only do so much to avoid getting pulled over and dealing with the cops. You can only do what's in your control to do. So when a drunk driver comes and smashes into your van and now all the products on the side of the road, the cops come, those are things that you don't have control over. Other than being defensive and like looking out a couple cars ahead of you, somebody might be driving crazy, maybe they're swerving or whatever, you stay away, So you want to be very cautious. So you're doing everything you can to avoid being pulled over, obeying traffic laws. Don't run yellow lights, don't gun through them, just obey all the traffic laws. Then you see the lights, and you're going to get that anxious anxiety and like, shit, but you're going to be armed with this knowledge I'm giving you, and you'll be armed with our card, right? The business card that Kushagram will give you, and anyone out there who's on these other social mediums, you can mail us and we'll send you our card. It has our script on the back. 25 words that I'm about to teach you, the only 25 words that you ever use when dealing and engaging with law enforcement. And those 25 words are, why did you pull me over? I'm not discussing my day. Am I being detained or am I free to go? I invoke the 5th. And then our big tagline, you shut the fuck up when cops ask questions. Now, what we're teaching here is based on your 4th and 5th Amendment rights in the Constitution of the United States. So this works all over the United States of America. Your 4th Amendment keeps you free from unreasonable search and seizure by a governmental agency. They need probable cause to get into and search your car. Your 5th Amendment is your right to shut the fuck up, to not incriminate yourself, to not say anything. You live and breathe with that right. You don't have to wait for it to be read to you. So when you get pulled over, the cop, one of the things that we have to be cognizant of is that cops have a rough job. They go up to traffic stops and get shot in the chest, in the head, it happens. So they want to know they're safe. Now, we want to help them feel safe, extra safe, right? So you've pulled over as soon as it's safe. You roll the window down enough to pass all your shit through, the license, insurance, registration, your manifest, and everything you've got. Your hands are on the steering wheel or even out the window, however you want to do it. Point is, the cop knows where your hands are. Now, if you have tinted windows, roll them all down. Roll them all down. Cop wants to see in the back. Can't see in the back. He's scared. He's reaching for his gun. I don't know. And he's already escalated the situation. We have to de-escalate it by making them feel as comfortable as possible. There's no danger here. My hands are right here. There's nobody else in the car. You can see that. So now the cop comes up. You're waiting. And you never know which cop you are going to get. There are plenty of great cops. And we love cops. Contrary to what some people say, we don't bash them. We need, great, good cops. They're out there. But there's the bad ones. And they get all the headlines and they make it worse for everybody. And those are the ones we have to watch. That's why we're talking about this today. And that's what we have to deal with. So, because you don't know who you're going to get, we're going to flesh it out. The 25 words flesh them out. So the cop comes up and whatever the cop says, he could say, what's that smell? Where you going? How you doing today? Try to make nice. And you don't want to fall for any of the nice stuff because all they're doing is delaying the start of the actual traffic stop. Because once that happens, once the stop is established, and just because you get pulled over, that doesn't establish a traffic stop. Maybe he's telling you your tires are low or something. I don't know. You have to establish it. Once it's established, they have 7 to 8 minutes to pull you over. Or I'm sorry, 7 to 8 minutes to write you a traffic ticket and get you on your way, unless they find other independent probable cause to further detain you and search your car. So to get to that point, no matter what the cop says, you say, why did you pull me over? Now, everything we say is going to be polite, nice. No matter what the cop is a dick, is getting in your face, you got to keep your composure. Why did you pull me over? Even if the cop says, I pulled you over for speeding, no matter, even if he tells you why, I want you to say, why did you pull me over? Then he's going to tell you, maybe. And then they're going to, where you going? Where you coming from? What's that smell? You had anything to drink? Why are you so nervous? You're sweating, you're shaking. I could go on. Doesn't matter. Whatever they say, you say politely, I'm not discussing my day. That's it. Then you're going to find out which cop you got. You have what we call our constitutional cops that believe in these rights I talked about, the 4th and 5th Amendment, and believe in not infringing upon those rights. And that cop is going to go, you were speeding, here's your ticket, be safe, here's a warning, and then on your way. Now, you get the cop who hates that you know your rights because they know their job's about to get harder. But they're not going to have any of it. You can't cooperate with me. You're not discussing your day. I don't care about your day. Why are you speeding? Where are you going? You got to tell, help me, you drunk? Whatever they say. I'm not discussing my day. And that's a line, that's up to you. You want to keep using it if they want to keep asking questions and have a little game of it of yourself. I'm not discussing my day till you're blue in the face. I like to go directly to the next line. Am I being detained or am I free to go? Because that gives the cop a choice. Is he going to let you go? Because you know your rights? Now he's got to think, this guy knows his rights. I'm looking in the car. There's nothing illegal, going on. You know what? Just be on your way. Or the cop who think you know your rights, do you? Well, you're getting out of this car and yeah, you were detained. Get out. And if that happens, you get out. You always get out. When the cop tells you to get out of the car, you get out of the car. Even if you've done nothing wrong. Even if the cop hasn't told you why he pulled you over. Now, a lot of people thinking, well, wait, I have rights. I don't have to just get out. You do have rights. They're supposed to really tell you why they're pulling you over and what the crime is before asking for your ID. But because we had a Supreme Court in the 60s, starting with Terry v. Ohio, case law, and a slew of cases underneath it. I'm not going to go through all that now. But that gives the cop the right, when you say no, to smash your window, rip you out of the car, and do whatever the fuck they want and search your car. Because in their police report, when they're done, they get to say, I thought I saw a weapon. I was afraid for my life. I had to clear the car for my safety. That's the way it is. Okay? So we comply now, we complain later. And when that cop says you're being detained, you say, I invoke the Fifth. You get out of the car, you put your hands behind your back, you get arrested, and that's it. And then you shut the fuck up, no matter what the cop says. Now, they're trained to lie to you. They're trained to get you to talk any way they can. They'll tell you, oh, you think you're working for some licensed company, do you? You know, it's federally illegal, you know, even though it's a fucking state traffic cop or California Highway Patrol, they're going to say shit to scare the shit out of you. It's federally illegal. You're going to go to jail for 5 years, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I've seen and heard it all with cops and the things that they'll say and do just to get somebody to talk. And we, as delivery drivers for this company, we represent you, the company and you. It's built into the retainer. If you get pulled over and arrested and charged with felonies and or misdemeanors, we are going to represent you, and we will get the case dismissed if you're not doing anything outside the lines, which you'll get fired for right away, and you'll end up in jail where I won't be able to help you. If you're fucking around, anybody out there who has a license and a licensed business, if you're fucking around outside the lines, like a lot of them are, you know, we're not dumb. We know what people are doing, and people have been getting away with it because it hasn't caught up with them yet. But if you do something like that, when you get busted, we're not going to be able to protect you behind the license. We're not going to be able to do that. And we can protect you at a federal level. If somebody bullshits you into thinking that you're fucked because it's a federal crime, because of the rider in the spending bill that says, it's the McClintock-Blumenauer rider that says the Department of Justice cannot spend money going after those cannabis businesses that are operating properly within their states, which you are, which Kushagram is. So it's vital that you don't fuck around, because if you do get popped, you're going to be looking at going to jail, like people still are for this plant, which is ridiculous in and of itself. But that's the risk that you're taking. And once again, in order to make it the smoothest transition possible, you stick to our 25 words and you shut the fuck up when these cops start asking questions and try to beat you down. And I mean, they will get it to you. And again, not only driving around while you're working, but in your life. You know, maybe you went out, you smoked a couple doops. Oh, your car, when you're delivering, now most companies have good packaging. It's in there, it's smell proof, it's locked away. But you know, you open it up and you make a delivery or whatever, you know, it can smell, as much as you try to prevent it. You know, keep deodorizer. We always like spray 420, you know, or whatever, because you want to keep it smelling fresh. Now, regardless of that, in California, smell is not probable cause. So when you're driving, you know, you got people who work in cultivations, and there's nothing they can do. They come, they work, they get in their car, and it stinks. But smell isn't probable cause. Cops don't know that. A lot of cops don't know it, or they don't care. And so they'll, oh, well, it smells, I'm searching. Well, go ahead and search, or go ahead and search. I'm a legal company. No, never consent. Ever, never. Let them do their job. Let them do their job. Let them fuck up their job, and that's how we're going to get cases dismissed at the end of the day. So never smoke in your vehicle that you're driving around delivering cannabis. You should not be smoking during working hours. You know, whatever you want, off hours, great. You know, you want to toke up just before. We trust that you know your limits and you're not going to get into a company vehicle impaired. Now, that doesn't mean I toked up and I'm high, you know, I don't know you. I don't know your tolerance. I don't know what you smoke or don't. Maybe some of you don't, you know. I can smoke a joint, go out there and I'm fine. You know, I'm not impaired. I'm medicated. I'm right. But if you're impaired, you can't be bringing that to work. So that's very important. And when you're out there delivering, be aware of your surroundings. You know, there's robberies, right? There's things happen, okay? And I know there's safeguards in place, and you have the tracking, and you have everything, but you can't remain oblivious. You need to be aware of where you're driving into, where you're delivering, and all that stuff. So just because you're working for a licensed business doesn't mean you're not going to get fucked with by the cops, doesn't mean you're not going to get arrested. And these 25 words, the script, everything we teach, you need to understand what it's not for. As I'll close out, it's not to make sure you don't get pulled over and profiled and pulled over. It's not to make sure you don't get a ticket. It's not to make sure you don't get arrested. It's not to make sure you don't get charged with misdemeanors or felonies. It's not to make sure that you don't get ripped out of your car. It's not to make sure that you don't get beat up. And it's not to make sure that you don't get killed. And unfortunately, all those things happen at traffic stops. What it's for? To preserve all your rights, remedies, and defenses for criminal defense case in court or civil case to bring against the cops in the city and all that. And believe me, if you do what we say and you're polite and you're calm and they do shit, there's going to be a major lawsuit afterwards. And they're not going to get away with it, and they're going to be held accountable. They might even go to jail. So that's our Shut the Fuck Up seminar on etiquette, driving around with your cannabis, licensed business, what to do when pulled over. I'm going to open it up to my Zoom here. You guys, if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Everybody good? Najin?
This one's good.
Good to go?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, very good. And then you will get one of our business cards. That'll be part of everything you get. You'll have that. And if you ever get a traffic ticket or anything, you immediately let me know. Even if you're off hours. You're part of the Kushagram family. We represent you. And if any of you as employees have questions, we're always open. You can hit us up, and we're happy to help. All right, you guys have a safe Shut the Fuck Up Friday. Shut the fuck up out there when cops ask questions.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Have a
Mark.
great day. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone, I just logged off the other deal. Does anyone on Clubhouse have any questions?
I was just wondering, so what's it going to take for you guys to come to Massachusetts and learn these Massachusetts laws?
We actually